Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Messer. Tonight, community members are protesting ICE activity at Indio City Hall. It's tonight's top story. It's being coordinated by the Coachella Valley Women's March and Code Pink Coachella Valley, with protesters gathering between 45th Avenue and Jackson Street in Indio. It started at 4, and it is well underway right now. It's where we find our Brett Rosen, who's live with the very latest. Brett?
Mark in Indio, just right in front of City Hall, where you would usually see the Indio City Hall sign, but now you're seeing leftover signs from the dozens that met up between Avenue 45 and Jackson Street, who walked all the way from there about a mile away to the City Hall area in response for, it was an anti-ICE protest. So it was an ICE out for good protest, dozens coming in with signs saying ICE go away, ICE get out of the Coachella Valley. Speaking with many who in there were just frustrated with the recent ICE activities here in the Coachella Valley. Right there on your screen, you're looking at some of the sightings of some of the signs that many of the protesters were holding for a little while, doing different chants, getting cars that were driving past their attention, their viewership there. And when speaking with organizers of this protest, of this rally, they said that the reason why they wanted to be able to speak their mind today was that it was the Indio City Council's first ever meeting. Take a look.
It's all fear. Really, the root of everything I'm hearing and we all are hearing is a general sense of urgent fear. And I think that's what's really pushing everyone on a work day. It's Wednesday, it's 4. You know, this is so important because a lot of it's affecting our work. You know, it's affecting who we are as people.
So the community is tired of seeing the racism and discrimination against our community in the form of ICE raids now. ICE raids are not just taking criminals off the streets, but they are targeting and terrorizing our community by intimidating them and just picking up people without even asking questions, lack of due process. And so we are here to stand, not just to rally, but also to march.
Again, this is Indio City Council's first ever meeting in the new year, and organizers said they wanted to make that statement to come out and show their support against ICE, against the ICE officers that were here in the Coachella Valley. Again, it's prompted by fear, frustration, so that is something to take a look at. Live here in Indio, I'm Brett Rosen. I'll send it back in studio to Mark and Olivia.
Brett, thank you. We have some news around the region tonight. A federal agent opened fire during an immigration enforcement operation outside of Los Angeles this morning. DHS officers were attempting to arrest a man identified as William Eduardo Moran Carballo. In a statement, DHS describes the man as a, quote, violent criminal illegal alien from El Salvador who is involved in a human smuggling operation and has 2 prior arrests. The agency says Carballo tried to evade arrest by using a vehicle to ram law enforcement. That's when DHS says an agent fired defensive shots and Carballo ran from the scene. He was later apprehended by law enforcement and was not injured. One CBP officer was injured during the incident. However, the extent of those injuries is still unknown at this time.
Turning to a local alert, Rebecca Haro, the Cabazon mother accused of murdering her infant son Emmanuel and falsely reporting him as kidnapped, appeared in court this morning. Our Brett Rosen was there at the Riverside County Hall of Justice, where he reported that her felony settlement conference had been pushed back to March 26. The case started last August. That's when Rebecca and her husband Jake reported Emmanuel as kidnapped in Yucaipa. Later, it was determined that that report was false, and deputies arrested the couple and accused them of killing the child. Jake Haro pleaded guilty in October to murder and other charges. He was sentenced in November to 25 years to life in state prison. That was the maximum sentence. The remains of baby Emmanuel still have not been discovered.
Vandalism at a local radio tower caused disruptions to Cathedral City Police radio communications this morning. Cathedral City Police saying they were notified of the issue by the Riverside County Sheriff's Office, with radio reception reduced until repairs were completed by 9 o'clock this morning. Officials say the location of the damaged tower was near the area of Bob Hope Drive and Varner Road. Riverside County Sheriff's, Palm Springs Police, and the Indio Police Department all confirming they have not experienced issues at their stations.
All right, before we get a look at our 3-day forecast, did you feel it this morning? 12:30 to be exact, another earthquake. This one was a 4.2 magnitude quake. Struck the same area as the last one, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. It's one of more than 100 aftershocks since Monday's 4.9 magnitude quake. Again, they were centered in Indio Hills. And with that, we have live pictures tonight from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above right there in Rancho Mirage. And Pablo, with the looks of things, you'd almost think it was raining here in the Coachella Valley with that shot.
It's very cloudy, but no rain in those clouds. We're not expecting rain this whole weekend. A couple sprinkles, but to the west of us, shouldn't hit us. Quickly about the aftershocks that you mentioned. Here you can see the locations of them. More than 61, ranging between 1.0 and 1.9. And yeah, I was shaking last night. I've seen more earthquakes here than in my 13 years living in LA. Currently, the temperature is 29 degrees, very low precipitation. That's why those clouds don't have rain, but they're just gorgeous. 22% humidity. The wind's very low right now, just 8 miles an hour in Whitewater, something noteworthy. Palm Springs, just 3 miles an hour. Dew points 30, so not muggy at all. And mild and dry, so we were expecting between 70 and 74 degrees. As far as the 3-day comfort air forecast, we're seeing a little sprinkles there for Friday, but I'm not expecting it to rain that much at all. And again, I think that'll still be west of us. But I'll be back for my 7-day forecast. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Back over to the duo of Olivia and Mark.
Pablo, thank you. More local news this evening. A new lawsuit against Riverside County is raising concerns about a major development project approved by the Board of Supervisors and whether it could put nearby communities at risk. That's one of the concerns. On January 16th, a community group filed a lawsuit in Riverside County Superior Court challenging the county's approval of Thermal Ranch and Equestrian Center that would cover more than 600 acres. The lawsuit alleges Riverside County approved the project despite significant environmental concerns cited in the project's environmental report and presented by local residents during several Riverside County board meetings. Now, community groups are suing the county under the California Environmental Equality Act, hoping the Board of Supervisors will revise the project's environmental report and maybe reconsider their decision.
The case is brought based on the California Environmental Equality Act, and we raised several concerns with the final environmental impact report, largely related to manure management. The project will generate 140,000 pounds of manure per day, and there's no clear plan for how to properly manage that to protect air and water quality, and then failure to properly mitigate impacts related to air quality. The lawsuit is about ensuring that the environmental review for the project is complete and accurate, and that all impacts related to air quality and water quality are mitigated to the extent they can be, so that we're avoiding harm to the community.
We reached out to Riverside County's Board of Supervisors about the lawsuit. They responded to us saying in part, quote, "At this time, the county has not been served with any lawsuit related to this project. Once received, the lawsuit will be thoroughly reviewed to determine the next steps." We also reached out to the community organization suing the county. They confirmed the lawsuit has been filed, but not yet served.
NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Your Coachella Valley Firebirds facing off against the San Jose Barracuda tonight at Acrisure Arena. They're hoping to make it 6 straight. Our Tim O'Brien joins us live from Acrisure Arena before the big game with more on tonight's matchup for us. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, so certain nights where you get into the season, you look at the schedule and you realize certain games are going to be a little bit bigger than others, and that's one of those tonight. Now, it is only midway through January with a whole lot of hockey left, but a lot in the standings at stake, right? The Firebirds and Barracuda, just a few points are separated from each other. The first team that's come in here in quite a few weeks that is actually higher than the Firebirds in the standings. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. The good side of that, Firebirds are 2-0 this season against the Barracuda, having won once here at Acrisure Arena and then once up in San Jose. But the Firebirds will look to go for their 6th straight here tonight. You look for Victor Osman to continue his playing well at what he's done over the last few weeks with the injury to Nike Coco. Firebirds also coming off back-to-back shutouts. And a side note to that, the Kansas City Mavericks goalie, who's now playing because Jack LaFontaine is up here at the Firebirds, he also had a shutout. So 3 shutouts from 3 goalies in the organization just the other night in 2 days. So pretty good. But coming up tonight at 11, well, of course, course, have a full recap. We'll hear from head coach Derek Laxdal. It'll be interesting to see how tight the defense is tonight. Firebirds defensively playing well. San Jose, they don't score a whole lot of goals, but they win a lot of 2-1, 3-2 games. Their goaltending and their defensive group, quite the good pairing here in the American Hockey League. So buckle up. It'll be a good one, and we'll recap it all tonight right here on NBC Palm Springs at 11. It is golf night after all, so only fitting with the American Express in town, and we'll have a lot more of that coming up throughout the week as well. But live inside Acrisure Arena, I'm Tim O'Brien.
All right, our thanks to Tim for that. Coming up next tonight, several bands with Cathedral City High School are about to embark on a trip abroad. We'll tell you where after the break.
Plus, as Tim mentioned, the American Express golf tournament action, it kicks off tomorrow. We'll hear from some of the big names competing right here in the desert a little later on in sports, so stay with us.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
Welcome back. Students from all 5 bands at Cathedral City High School will spend a week immersed in Costa Rican culture, learning from local musicians and even performing with municipal bands.
Our Alondra Campos spoke with students and their director as they prepare for the trip of a lifetime and also continue their fundraising efforts to make it all happen.
It starts with the sound of practice. And ends with a journey that will take these students far from home. In just a couple of months, these Cathedral City Lions will leave the den, pack their instruments, and travel across the country to Costa Rica.
There was an opportunity for us to perform down there with some municipal bands and with the music conservatory down there. So we took that opportunity, and yeah, we're leaving in about 2 months.
For many, it's their first time leaving the country and a chance to see how far music can take them.
I want to be a music teacher in the future, especially like an instructor for little children. So I want to have like fun little cute stories that I can tell them, and then I'm sure like it's gonna help me grow a lot in my musicianship with this trip.
The music they're learning now is inspired by Costa Rican culture, the same culture they'll soon experience firsthand.
In fact, one of the pieces that we're playing is called Tico, which soy Tico in Costa Rica means I'm Costa Rican, and the whole piece is built on this folk song from Costa Rica, and we're going to go down and play the band version of that down there.
For junior Christopher Frias Torres, a saxophonist on the jazz band, performing in a new country will be his first glimpse beyond home.
I'm looking forward to traveling outside the country because I've never done that before, and Costa Rica just seems really nice. I've seen photos online, it looks beautiful.
This trip, however, is not only a big opportunity, but also a big financial commitment. Each student must cover a cost of $3,600 for travel, lodging, and programs.
We are about $5,000 short of our goal. We have a big event on February 28th. It's called Stardust. It's a big music festival that we put on here at the high school. And for this particular event, we're going to be using those funds to help with the Costa Rica trip.
Until then, these students continue to practice day in and day out, playing every note with purpose.
All right, that was our Alondra Campos reporting this evening. We thank Alondra for bringing us that report. Live pictures right now from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Pablo Alsina tracking the forecast. Full details on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Middle of the week, I'm Pablo Alsina. Gorgeous shot right now. Very menacing looking clouds, but no rain as of yet. We might get some sprinkles on Friday looking at the Walter Clark camp shot. You also notice not much wind in those trees. And I thought we'd be cooler than normal, but we were dead on the same 71 degrees than normal. That's exactly the high in the Palm Springs area. The record 92. So finally started the year a lot hotter than normal, then cooler, then hotter, and now we're back to dead even. High temperatures you saw today, look at this. You don't see 80s anywhere near. You see 64 in Banning, 64 in 29 Palms, and then lots of 70s throughout most of the areas. Tonight around 8 p.m. will be at 60, midnight at 57. Should be much cooler than that. The lows, though, 52 in Palm Desert, Banning at 46, Big Bear City, they're chilling, 26 degrees over there, 29 Palms at 43. Shout out to all the servicemen. And if we see the future precipitation, no rain whatsoever. 7-day forecast, we are seeing in Palm Springs around 1/10 of an inch possibly, but in Palm Desert it's saying no rain, so depending what area you're in, you might get a couple of sprinkles on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's still going to be in those low 70s. Just gorgeous, gorgeous time. Partly cloudy, so great time to go see some golf, go check out some concerts, go outside. This is the best time to be alive in the desert, even with a little shaking. Keep it here on NBC Palm Springs.
And now, NBC Palm Springs Sports with Caitlin Kelly, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Well, welcome back. We're just one day away from the action starting at the American Express over at PGA West. The field is absolutely stacked this year. Names like Scotty Scheffler, Ricky Fowler, Will Zalatoris, Justin Rose, just to name a few. You get the picture. But today, all eyes were on the 2025 reigning champ, Sepp Straka. Straka returns to the desert as the defending champion after a dominant performance here last year, edging out stars like Justin Thomas and Jason Day to win it all. He led wire to wire at PGA West, finishing at 25 under par, earning his third career PGA Tour win. Now, 1 year later, the Austrian star says those final moments here in La Quinta still stand out as some of his favorite memories.
It was a special week. I think trying to battle leading a tournament. I've never had a lead going into Sunday, and trying to kind of battle that, trying to go to sleep on Saturday night, and kind of the stuff that you go through with all that, battling the nerves and being able to kind of handle that. That was a fun time.
Sepp tees off tomorrow morning at 10:31 a.m. alongside Sam Burns at La Quinta Country Club. Now, shifting gears from golf to high school football, the Rajas of Indio High School made things official today when they held a special press conference and pep rally to officially welcome new head football coach James Dockery. Dockery, of course, spent the last 9 seasons as the head coach at Xavier Prep, showcasing a defense-first style of coaching. That same philosophy, along with developing strong student athletes, is what he believes will be the recipe to turn this Raja program around.
I think the main things that we are focused on is our attitude, our preparation, our effort. We call it the 8 mentality. And that is just going to make sure that our guys have a right type of mindset to play football. It's a very violent game. And then that comes with the preparation, obviously being eligible, doing the best we can in the classroom, preparing our mind and our body to be successful, and then playing with a lot of relentless effort. Obviously, the hallmark of my teams have been defensive, but we're really excited to take this step forward and get our offense on track with our defense as well. And I think you guys will see a team next year that is a sound football team that plays with great fundamentals and effort.
Dockery also said he's hoping to get a minimum of 100 students involved in the football program. The team had a total of 31 players on the team this past season, so it'll be interesting to see what this new look Raja program will look like come September. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
Taylor Swift will be inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame this summer, along with some other esteemed artists. And at 36, she's the second youngest artist ever to achieve the honor. The first was Stevie Wonder at 32. Fellow inductees include Alanis Morissette, Kenny Loggins, and then Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons of Kiss. Very cool. Congrats to her.
I like